Need a brake mechanism. You can also use a C-clamp. Just a wrench here with an 18mm socket, and then I got a big torque bar here. These 18mm bolts are kind of a pain in the butt, and the longer one you have, the better. So, but yeah, the first step is basically just taking the wheel off, which is 3/4. Has 6 lugs. Taking that off completely. So I'll go ahead and do that now. This is the notorious problem that I had here. Was you see right here? You see this Allen or this torque bolt there? All right, that SOB caused me a lot of headache. Also right there, okay? Now, what I was thinking is we had to take those off, those 2 off, but actually this job's a lot easier than I thought. So it's actually really simple. All you have to do is take the 18 size millimeter bolt off there, and one more down there at the bottom. You take those completely out. Pulls the entire caliper off, also the plate that holds the rotor off. The whole thing comes off, and then what will happen is that you can actually just slide this completely out. So these pins are held on just right in here, but this gives it a little room to wobble back and forth. But anyways, yeah, very easy. I'll show you that in a sec. Okay, so got my big long wrench here. Just need to hook that onto it. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do it with the camera on, so I will do it without it. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, so undoing the bottom one there, so the 18mm bolt. They're pretty tight. I actually loosened them there for a second, so it took 2 hands, but not too bad overall. So once I get them loose, I'll put the wrench on there, ratchet, so make it a little bit quicker. This little baby here. So way to save a little bit of time. Now, because at my dad's shop, I'd have all the air tools, but what can you do? Sometimes it's best just to get it done the old-fashioned way. So, buggers tied on there, so I'll have to use that wrench again. So, I'll go ahead and show you once I get this off, how easy these brake pads are to take off. Very, very easy. Alrighty, once you got the 2 18mm bolts off, kind of a pain in the butt. They're pretty tight. Let me pull this off. You can watch how easy this is. Make sure you don't rip your brake line off. So wiggle it loose there. Okay, so I flip it upside down, just like that. And okay, I was like, oh, how do you get the brake pads off? Oh no, worrying, thinking that I have to take those bolts off there. So the cool thing about it, they made it a little bit easy, which surprisingly, see how easy that was? This just pulls right out, and once you do that, you got the bracket, you got those bolts still on there, so just pulled right out. Easy as that. And then you pull these out. These are the old brake pads. You can tell, see the metal thing there? That goes toward the bottom, so just remember, you pull it out, see that metal thing? The new ones will have it too. Don't know what it does. Probably an indicator of somewhat that a way to screw up your rotor. So go ahead and pull these out. Just It's a way to cause more money, right? More things to repair. So now this is that on the right side. Put the old brake pad in there, and I just twist real slowly. Don't want to go too fast. But what I do is I bring this one in, and then I switch to the other side and put that one in a little. Even though this does both, but the bottom one, you see, will not go on as much. So you just twist this. And slowly but surely, they will go in. So I'll go ahead and finish this up. What I like to do is switch sides. And you push this side in a little bit. And then I use some brake grease. Basically use this stuff to make it so you don't get squeaks and noises. I hate hearing weird ticks and stuff. So I tend to put a little bit of this on these rods. You see there? It already has some. You can probably put some grease, but let's do some of this stuff. This stuff works good. Brake grease. And then I'll put it around the edges there. The edges here. So that way the brake pads don't rub against metal to metal, so it kind of lubricates it a little. So, alright, I'll do that now. Just to point out, there's actually, let me turn this light on. There's actually these little metal clips here. You can replace them. I think you can pick them up at AutoZone or O'Reilly's. But I'm just going to keep the old ones on there, and I just rub some that grease on those as well. So I already did that, as you can see. Kind of rub it all over there. So now it's just assembling this bad boy with new brake pads onto the caliper. So pretty simple. Way of doing it is out of the box. Just remember, the metal part goes toward the top, which is going to be the bottom once you flip it over, and the curve, the round edge, goes toward the back of the caliper. And make sure that edge is matching that edge. So put that in there. Really no special method of doing this other than I push them both together, just like that. Push them all the way in. And then this, pretty simple. Kind of look at it, observe, you know, how this works, but just slides in, just like that. And then you need to kind of line up, slide those in, kind of shake it back and forth to that side. Alright, maybe you see I got both of them to line up. The SOB pins just slid right in, so I didn't even have to undo the Torx. Genius. No, it's actually just a trick of the trade, so learn that the hard way. But yeah, time to go ahead and assemble. Just spread these out here and go ahead and flip around like this and back on the rotor. Put the 18mm bolts back in. You can choose to put some Loctite on them if you want. I choose not to, so just tighten them, snug them up, torque them up, and good to go. So I'll go ahead and assemble it now. Alright, there you have it. Got it all assembled now.